fucked it up already. I hit the wrong button. That's all right.
That was the wrong intro.
That was the old one.
Fuck.
Yeah. Should we do it again?
You're going to edit and play both of them anyway, but here it goes.
He will not edit anything out.
Ladies and gentlemen, get up for it! Europe Podcast!
There we go. That's better. I like that one better now.
Yeah.
First, it sounded like a little bit too much. I wasn't sure how Albert was going to edit that in with his little introductions he does beforehand. Because it gets a little, I don't know, a little wild.
From now and then.
Yeah.
Or you mean the intro?
Yeah, the intro. So
or both.
it kind of depends on like what you do before the introduction, what the people are talking about, and then all of a sudden came and starts yelling at everybody.
Yeah, but the bing, 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 bing at the beginning, it fits pretty well.
Yeah, he
I think.
recorded a couple different variations of it, and he's like, I think that would be cool. But it was like it sounds like a boxing announcer, and then
yeah, exactly.
So I added the bells into the front of it, so it came out cool. All right, I want to tell you something about my week because I think it's funny. Maybe you won't think so, but
go ahead.
Do you guys get like stuff on Instagram all the time for like people trying to like sell you their knives, like from Pakistan and stuff like that?
Yep.
Yeah.
They come all the time. So I get this guy trying to sell me blocks of wood, and I'm like, I was bored at work, so I'm like, yeah, well, let's see what you got. And he starts sending me videos. He's like standing over blocks of wood, and he's got all you see is like bare feet next to the blocks of wood. It was like you can tell exactly where they come from. It's funny as hell. Some nasty old like cheese feet. It was gross.
So I guess you didn't buy any then.
No, I didn't buy any.
Yeah, full container. It's coming to knifematerial.at.
But sometimes I screw with them, try to make trades, like try to just look around and find old stuff and send them a picture of something broken in my shop, see if they want to trade for it, or just to fuck around.
But on my Instagram, it's
lately
worse.
It's been going crazy.
Yeah, okay, it's not just me then.
No,
so
yeah.
On my side, it is actually the reverse. I have way less of them, but I have a huge influx of beautiful ladies in my DMs. But I thought it was because of this podcast.
Of course,
no, it's just
definitely.
But they are all being serious.
Mm-hmm, of course,
you know that, right?
They just send me strange links, where I have to log in, but it never works. I put in my password, but it never works.
And I probably get like 3 or 4 a day from the website. Like people are like, oh, I think your website's doing awesome. You're doing really great, but we could help fix this and that. And it's
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get that too. Yeah.
SEO. Oh, you want to be number one?
Constantly.
Number one in SEO?
Yeah, so I got a couple of new things going on this week. I got a few Scotch-Brite belts, and I got a bunch of other like Cubitrons and Hermes and shit. I got all the leftover stuff that Matt had. I just messaged him to see what he got, and he sent me all of his stuff and some new burners and some of the hot racks and stuff like that. So I think I'm actually going to keep a bunch of them. Some of the Hermes are ceramic. Just mess around, try them out. And a friend of mine bought the Revolution grinder, but he doesn't make knives. He thought it would be a cool grinder to have in the shop. So he's mostly doing like wood stuff. So all the cubic, what's that other one called? It's not cubic zirconia. the other
aluminum oxide.
Aluminum oxide. I don't know why that was blanking out on that one. The aluminum oxide ones are perfect for handles and shit like that. Yeah, you gotta fucking wear a mask. Don't sniff G10.
But like a grinder is really a indispensable tool in a workshop. You find so many.
Yeah, in any workshop. Yeah.
You find so many uses for it.
You don't even know it until you have one. You just like every time I have anything, like throw it on the grinder. It's the easiest way.
Mm-hmm.
What else is going on? Oh, this one sucks. Paulius didn't hear about this yet. So me and Albert and Andy and Chris from ForgeWorks, we're going to Blade Show this year, like in a couple of months, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a year ago, last June in 2024, I booked an apartment for all of us made the payment, everything, and like 2 days ago, I get an email that they're canceling the room on us. Those fuckers, they like sold the hotel to another company or something. And they're like, oh, we're sorry. Here's your money back. Good luck finding a place next to Blade Show like 6 weeks before it happens.
Oh, Jesus.
Fuck.
Worst timing ever.
Yeah. So we ended up paying like $700 more for a hotel. But the good thing about this one is it's like a 10-minute, 12-minute walk, something like that. So we can skip the rental car, and it's going to cost us the same amount of money for the vacation because we can just walk there or take a cab or something like that if we had to.
So no big muscle car.
No, unfortunately.
No.
And extra $700 on top.
No, not really, because that's what the rental car was going to be, like $500-$600 or something. If there's anybody at Blade Show that's got a U.S. muscle car, Albert and Andy were really wanting to drive one, so maybe they can take it for a spin around the parking lot real quick.
How long's the ride to the airport from Blade?
I think it's like 30 minutes, maybe even shorter. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, that's close. Good. Yeah. Then let's just take a cab or an Uber.
Yeah. So when you check online, it tells you that the average is like $74 or something from the airport to our hotel.
That's good.
No, it's not, but there's 4 of us. Yeah.
Yeah, but what would we have done with the muscle car anyway, right? I mean, we would have used it to get to the show and back, right?
Yeah.
So because we won't have much time, I guess. And then there's the infamous pit, right? So where all the people get drunk. So
yeah, we'd be
who's driving
sleeping
them?
on the floor at the pit.
Yeah. It's much more convenient that way, I think, anyway.
Yeah,
so.
you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Keith wouldn't be driving.
Nope. Not this time, no. But there's a bunch of stuff around in the area. There's like, I don't know, you guys are probably going to want to go to like the stadiums nearby, and there's like a big shopping plaza and all kinds of shit. But I imagine we'll be looking for a place to eat nearby.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask some of the people at the show because some of these people go all the time and they'll know the spots. So that'll be cool this year. I've been trying to go for like 10 years. Every time something comes up, it's just like, because I go for the last 3 weeks of July every year anyway. So it's kind of like go for a week in June, come home for 2 weeks, and then go back again.
Is there something that you really want to see in Blade Show? Something maybe specific? Or top 3 things that you want to see, or makers?
Don't know if there's any specific makers. Just a shitload of them there. That'll be nice to walk around and talk with. Make some connections, maybe work out some deals or something with some of the U.S. suppliers or knife makers. And I hear there's a table, I think, what's the name of it? Something to do with Koa. There's a guy with a shitload of Koa, and he sells like offcuts and all kinds of crazy shit. He's from Hawaii, so that stuff's easier to find for him.
How many exhibitors are there at Blade? Do you know that, Keith?
No, you'll have to Google it real quick. I'm sure they
Thousands, I guess.
got the list together.
Thousands?
Yeah, I think
Really?
there's at least 1,000, like 1,200 or something. But I'm not 100% sure.
I heard
Google
people
that.
say that you are not able to see every table if you through the weekend.
Well,
if you want to see
It
it.
depends. Yeah, if you stop and talk to everybody, you never make it through.
Mm.
Okay, it's the world's largest knife show, features over 900 exhibitors.
Well,
So,
shy of
yeah.
1,000.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay, here it says over 950, so almost
951.
And I sent you the link. They offer like classes. I don't know if any of that shit's still available, but there's a few different classes you can go, like with Mareko for mosaic pattern Damascus, and he goes over like how to break down the patterns, and there's one like how to sell your knives. There's a whole bunch of different ones, but I think that's kind of hard to commit to something unless you're really interested in it, because it kind of breaks you up your whole day. You're like waiting for that time so you don't miss the time slot while you're walking around doing all the other stuff at the show.
Do they cost extra?
Yeah, but they're not that
classes?
much. They're like, I don't know, like $30 or $40, something like that.
Okay. Is it called Blade University? Is that it?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
How to sell your knives. Exhibit at Blade Show.
Yeah, buy a tape.
Give me $40 now.
Take Damascus etching to the next level. Baker Forge. We should go there.
Yeah, that reminds me. I wanted to say it and I forgot. I was just trying to remember it. I just placed an order for the new Gator Piss Heavy.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy, extra heavy piss.
Heavy flow. Yeah.
Is this also going to be made in the EU or in Europe?
Yeah.
Or do you have to import it? Okay.
No, I can't. I don't know. I don't even want to know what it would cost to import a 600-liter tank.
But who's gonna make it?
The people in
Matt.
Netherlands, the air fryer guy.
Okay.
Using the old oil.
Yeah, that's the key ingredient. That's what makes it heavy. No, this one's supposed to be a stronger mix, so it'll etch deeper, and they say it works really well on monosteels for like blacking them out.
Ah, nice. So also
Yep.
darker then?
Yep.
Okay.
And the other one was Gator Piss
Max?
Max,
No?
yeah, for stainless.
Pepsi Max.
But it's not a whole lot of, I mean, Damasteel and stuff like that you could use it on. But I think for most of my customers, a lot of people aren't etching stainless. I mean, if they're using stainless, it's a cladding, and they're not trying to etch the stainless anyway. They're trying to get to the core material. So it's kind of a big investment.
Baker Forge offers stainless Damascus, or at least stainless Damascus cladding, if I remember correctly, with a carbon core. So I guess for their own products.
Yeah, there's a few of them out here. Damasteel, what's the other one, Albert?
Balbach.
Balbach, yeah.
Do they offer
They do
stainless?
it.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
He has a patent on how to forge stainless Damascus.
how
I
to?
think. How to? Yeah, he uses, I think a mill, a rolling mill or something. I mean the patent is online. We downloaded it a half a year ago or something because we were wondering how you can patent such a thing because it's just forge welding after all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's why we downloaded the patent. And in the patent, I mean, there's a whole description of the process.
And because it's patented, you're not allowed to make it the same way he makes it, or what is
Yeah.
exactly patent?
I think let me check, but I think the rolling technique or
Okay.
something. But I forgot. But I think the patent is only for Germany. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. Verfahren zur Herstellung von rostfreiem Damaststahl. German, English. I'm gonna delete all the pauses.
Yeah.
Don't worry. In post.
Patent on a process. That's the first I've ever heard of that.
Really? I mean, what do you think they patent? Geometries?
You patent the product, not how you made it. I mean, Damascus has been around for thousands of years. How can you put a patent on that now?
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
That's why we
I
downloaded
mean, you can
it.
patent processes. Like, it doesn't matter if it is forge welding or whatever. If you do something like, if you are coating one material with the other in some unique way, in some unique thing, it's fine to patent it. Maybe he's doing something extraordinary. If you are patenting the forge welding itself, then it's of course BS.
I think Hangler should get a patent on gold vein. No, patents are expensive.
Yeah, they are.
But they only work if you want to defend them. You know, it's like trademarking your name. It doesn't matter shit if you don't sue the people, and then you have to go and sue and get the patents for or trademarks for every country that you want to defend it. It's like a lot of hassle for a thing that nobody cares. And also the shit, I forgot the word. When you go to court, what do? You sue the people. Yeah. Suing takes a lot of time.
Yeah, time
Most
and
probably
money.
if somebody in China is copying you and selling the product way cheaper, then you are just losing. And courts take a lot of time.
Sounds like you've been down that road before.
No.
No.
I haven't even ever called the cops, so I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
I called him a few things before, and not on the phone though.
No.
Albert's reading up on the patent.
I'm reading the patent. Yeah, I don't see anything that's special to this process. I mean, he says that a press is better than a hammer, and you have to press it at a certain temperature to forge weld it. I mean, that's all common knowledge, right? So up to now, there's nothing in there that's
defendable or unique.
patent worthy. Yeah.
So is that like on his page, or did you like look it up on a patent website?
No, it's on the patent website,
Okay.
Deutsches Patent- und Markenamt.
No, I was just
So-
wondering if it was like a patent pending, and then he has it on his site as a patent.
No, it's a patent.
It's the new bit of the show.
Patent discussions. Yeah.
Patent discussions. Is it good or
But-
is it a shit patent?
I wanted to ask. Albert said he didn't have anything happening this week, but he just had a visit from one of our recent guests. How did that? How did that go?
Sid was visiting us. Yeah, it was fun. We had a blast. I mean, he fucked up a few Damascus fillets, feather Damascus. Then we tried to do the zebra thing
Yeah.
we were talking about, which also delaminated. And then there was a small piece of feather Damascus left. We rolled out so that he can make like 2 small knives out of it. And then we made, I think, shitloads of laminates. So he called it silver line laminate. So with, I think it's 80 CRV2 cladding and core or apex core. I forgot, but yeah, shitloads of laminates. So yeah, he was kind of disappointed because all of the fuck ups happened on the first day.
Yeah.
I think, as far as I remember. Yeah, so he was kind of disappointed the first day, but I think we made up for it on the second day.
From overheating, or how did they? Because it looked like they were just breaking apart. Like, yeah,
You
I
mean the
mean,
feather?
I'm not sure which one it was because it was all forge scale still on it, but it had split into like a whole bunch of pieces.
Yeah, that was the feather Damascus. So the forge weld didn't work. I don't know why. I mean, it was his billet. I don't know who did the welding on that. Whether or not he did it himself or Andy, I don't know. But Andy's feather Damascus billet held up, so that was even more frustrating for Sid, I think. But to see that.
And did you make one too, Feather?
No. I've forged a few knives into shape.
Sure.
And I made a few laminates, and I tried to experiment with the Damascus core and wrought iron cladding billet. So usually you have like Damascus on the outside, like we do with our Apex laminates. And this time I did a Damascus core with a wrought iron cladding, which looks super awesome. I test etched the blade today. Remember Alex Greenway from Sid Knives?
Yeah.
He sent us 3 bars of wrought iron, new wrought iron, made in the UK.
Okay.
Because wrought iron used to be made like in the 19th century, between 1850 and 1900. And there's a company in the UK who started making wrought iron again. So it's new wrought iron, because all the wrought iron we have over here is like historical wrought iron. And we weren't sure how it looks, but it looks awesome.
So you still get like a bunch of like patterns in it and stuff. It's not just
tons of action.
Cool.
So it looks pretty cool. Yeah. I don't know exactly how expensive it is because I'm kind of worried that it's super expensive, way more expensive than our own wrought iron. But it's an interesting alternative because wrought iron is a limited resource, so original wrought iron, right? Because I mean it's only been made up to 1900 roughly, and it's very hard to come by. Usually, sometimes you find like an old wheel of a wagon or something, and you hope that it's wrought iron. But when you can order wrought iron, I mean that's super convenient for a lot of platesmiths, I think, because then there's no guesswork whether or not it's really wrought iron. Then you have to break it, test etch it, whatever. You can just order it like you do with your normal steel you use for.
Maybe do you know why they started producing it? Because I guess knife makers are not the main reason.
I have no idea. But that's a good question. We were wondering ourselves. I don't know. I mean, knife makers can't be there.
No. It's probably like for
Main
restoration,
customer.
like historical restorations and stuff.
But it seems like
Maybe,
more like aesthetic thing. I guess it's inferior to modern steels in every way.
Yeah, it is. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. It's impure. It breaks.
So what's
but it looks nice.
You said some people aren't sure, like, so if it's really wrought iron and stuff. What's the best way to distinguish whether it's wrought iron or not? Is the brake test the easiest?
Yeah, brake test. If it breaks in a certain way, you can tell that it's wrought iron. So it's very likely that it's wrought iron. So that's how we tested it when we got our railroad tracks.
Mm-hmm.
We broke it, and then we forged it, then we surface ground it, then we did a test edge, and then we knew. That's how we tested it.
It will bend to a certain amount, and then it kind of breaks open, and you can see the huge grain in it and stuff, right? So that works.
Exactly. So it breaks in a very, how do you say, uncontrolled manner, right? So it's not a clean break; it's just it tears apart. So because it's impure. But there's pictures online. I mean, one of our listeners asked me how he can test whether or not he has wrought iron. There's a link somewhere. Maybe we can put it in the show notes. It's like a whole description with pictures and everything how wrought iron breaks.
Well, he'll be at the show this year in the Knife Show Austria, Alex Greenaway. So if you're looking for some more wrought iron,
nice.
You can edit this out, so you're the only one that gets it.
Is he coming?
He's coming.
I didn't know that.
He's coming. He's going to bring his son. He's coming just as a visitor.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. He's such a nice guy. No, I leave that all in, so people can't bother him.
As soon as Sid messed up his billet, he sent me a bunch of pictures that night when he got back.
Yeah, but I think he still enjoyed his stay.
Yeah.
Here. Because we went out for lunch. We had dinner at our shop and everything. So we had a few beers. Even Sid had a beer and rum, because Sid usually doesn't drink, from what I've heard.
He was really disappointed with the whole toilet situation, but
but I told him on the show that that was a joke from Andy. I mean, Andy made fun of that even when he was here, right? Because he said, no, that's really the toilet over there in your apartment. Just Albert's never seen it. That's why he didn't know. But he had a nice day, I think. And he brought our induction forge.
Did you get to try it out yet?
No, because we're missing some tubes and stuff. We have to buy it. Yeah. But it's brand new.
Have you looked into making them? You can make your own, and apparently it's not that difficult with copper tubing and stuff. Is that what you mean, the coils?
No, we are missing like pipes and stuff for the water cooler. There's 2 coils, two copper coils that came with the machine. And Sid brought them, so we don't need any. Is it called coils?
Yeah. So you just need to work on like plumbing in the water cooler to the
water cooling. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. We've been so busy, so it sits in a corner.
How big are the breakers in your workshop? Like how many kilowatts of power?
I have no idea. All of them.
It's more than 50. More than 100?
I have no idea. I'm not an electrician, but I can ask Andy if you really want to know. But they're massive. I mean, we can have like 5 power hammers running, the rolling wheel and the press, and then an oven at the same time. So without
this is why I'm asking, because currently I am limited to 10 kilowatts. And if you are looking for a compressor and you want to get a screw compressor, they are mostly above 10 kilowatts.
Mm-hmm. No, it must be massive, but I have no idea. I mean, it's an industrial building, and it's a very new industrial building. I think it's been built in 2017 or something, so it's not even 10 years old. And the guy who built it had his own shop there with massive saws and everything. So cutting stones, so he knew what he was doing. So I'm pretty sure it's somewhat oversized, the whole thing.
Hopefully, yeah.
We would have found out by now, right?
Yeah. You know, they tend to solve the problem of a breaker going off, like just install a bigger breaker.
Yeah, but that's illegal.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, he wouldn't do that. I mean, it's his building, so why would he do that? So I mean, then you run the risk of burning down your whole shop.
Just having some warm wires.
Or hot wires, or a burning building.
You could just pin it all on Andy because he's the master electrician. Be like, I don't know, it wasn't that way when I rented the place.
Yeah.
So how about Paulius? What have you been doing this week? You pumping out knives for the upcoming show?
For the whole week, I was machining handles. That's about it. doing a little bit of kydex, but mostly handles.
So it wasn't any one-piece work, batch work.
I'm not getting into that. We got enough complaints from the listeners.
Who complained about the One Piece flow thing?
I can't talk.
Really?
I can't talk.
Yeah, but
you should.
somehow Paulius became like the spokesperson for the show. Anytime somebody has anything bad to say or they have anything to say at all the listeners are emailing him or messaging him. Hey, I'm fine with it. I get enough messages throughout the day. That's fine with me. I'm just saying.
Me too.
It's mostly the hot ladies that I'm interested in the requests. But shit, I'm out of luck. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about doing more crazy bits, going into knife making conspiracy theories.
Like
but
what?
Then you got this.
Name one.
I just give me a second. Like, let me finish. But then I had to drop the character just because one of many listeners complained that I talk too much. So now I'm going to play a different character. I'm going to be like chill, Baltic Blades, chill guy. You know, I'm just few words. That's enough.
Get one negative comment about you, and he takes it to heart.
Yes, I'm like a shark because I cry in water. That's why the water is salty. So I'm like, every time I go to the shower, I remember this terrible comment. And I'm like, oh no, he doesn't like. I talk too much.
But was it really a critical comment? I don't remember.
It doesn't matter. I take it to heart, Like, it doesn't matter that I get like 20, 30 compliments. You two get like 1-2 compliments sometimes.
Never. Here's the comment, Paulius. Here's the comment. Hey, brother, don't know if you want to hear my opinion, but I listened to the Sid podcast and I have 1 or 2 feedbacks. I love Paulius, but I had the feeling I was listening to him way more than the guest of the day. So we don't have a guest today. So that doesn't apply.
Yeah. It's then the bar is even lower. I need to talk less than the non-existing guest. But I listened to that episode.
After the comment, you listen to it again?
Of course. But a double speed. Look, I'm not that petty. I'm a little bit petty, but a double speed. Yeah. I was talking the fucking least of all 4 of us. But I thought I could take it as a compliment, because it was so nice for him to hear my voice that he took such an opportunity to hear Paulius speak. But I took it just as a negative comment, and I'm little word Baltic Blade,
Well,
I talk little.
Take a deep breath, and tell everybody about our sponsor. We got something to talk about.
This is the best transition ever. Our sponsor. Oh wait, I fucked it up. Fuck. I'm now full on anxiety. Look, listeners, don't laugh. It's way harder when you are on the spot. You have to say something. I can talk shit all show long, and when I have to do a sponsor read, I cannot talk at all. But this shit show is sponsored by minihell.eu. They make wonderful heat treatment ovens in Poland. I have one for like 5 years now, 0 problems. If you go to minihell.eu, you can use our freaking discount code WFI5 to get 5% off. And you save 5%, and you get a wonderful heat treatment oven. And also, Baltazar is not shy guy anymore, and we are getting him on the show. Most probably not next week, but maybe the week after it. We'll see how it goes to plan, because knife makers are shit at planning. So we'll hopefully get him soon. So go on minihell.eu. That's it. It was scary. It's so hard. Every fucking time I'm like, that's easy. Sponsor reads are easy. And then you have the green light and you're like, I don't know what to say. Show sponsored, good sponsor. Sorry, I broke my character. I'm chill.
He's
I'm
back.
chill. No, I'm chill. I'm chill. I cannot go back to the character of unhinged conspiracy theories.
So Albert's sending links, Alibaba links to us.
You know why? Because we were talking about these Chinese fake comments on Instagram, and we were talking about gold vein, right? I'm in a WhatsApp group with Ben Carmon and Tobias Hagler and all the other, or some of the other knife makers. Did you see that, Keith?
Yeah, I see it now. I wonder whose knife that is.
There's an. Do you guys know what Alibaba is? That's a Chinese.
Course, Everybody knows.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So it's like a Chinese Amazon for cheap stuff, or mostly cheap stuff. And there's a knife on there that looks extremely familiar to most of us because it's Ben Camon's gold vein knife.
Without a doubt.
And you can. Yeah, it is. I mean, Ben said that it is already in the group chat. So they uploaded a picture of Ben Camon's gold vein knife, and you can buy like 5 to 24 knives for $25 each, for 25 to 49 for $23.50, and so.
No, they didn't upload one picture.
We need to order.
They uploaded 5 pictures, the exact 5 pictures that are on the gold vein project.
Yeah.
Only the first one they tried to edit a little. They put it on a white background. The rest of them are the exact same picture from his website.
Yeah, but the first one is the best one because it's shitty Photoshop.
Yeah,
it's
like all blurry
Photoshop job. Yeah. Fuck me. Who would have thought?
$20.
Yeah. So now we know what a gold vein knife is worth. So if anyone wants to buy one, it's $25. But you have to buy at least 5, I think, because it says 5 to 24.
Yeah.
Will they? I wonder if they will be in time for Knife Show Austria.
Should we order some?
Yeah.
I would love to. And also they did some editing because all of the logos are gone, I think.
Oh, that's right.
Because Ben stamps his logos, so they did.
Oh, yeah.
At least they did some work. It's not like a black square where his logo is.
Yeah.
But I think
just use the blur too.
You actually made it in the knife making world when you are being ripped off by Alibaba and AliExpress.
Yeah,
China.
I think so. At least you're famous.
China.
Yeah, I had a Chinese company on Instagram that used my. I mean, I have some of my early pictures, especially my G10 pictures, aren't so great on my website, and there was like one of the cover pictures where all the liners are spread out next to each other. They were using the picture from my website to try and sell G10, and I'm like, hey, that's my picture, and they're like, yeah, because I like the way it was laid out and with all the colors and everything, and I'm like, yeah, but it's not your G10. How can you sell G10 if that's not the G10 that you're selling in the picture? I'm like, and they're like, oh, so sorry, sir, so sorry, we'll take it down.
Sorry, dear.
Yeah.
Sorry, dear.
Exactly. That's the giveaway. When they call you dear, they're from China. When they call you sir, it's usually Pakistan. Hello, sir.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Actually, yeah. Never thought about it, but yeah, there is a difference.
I mean, they are getting better with using AI, but you can still tell usually. So, Paulius, you got all you were working on putting a table together where you can assemble the knives in front of your customers. Have you done a test run and got all that figured out?
No. I have wait, I need to go back into my character.
Yeah, go.
Sorry.
Ahead. Shoot.
Wait. No. Now I have a big checklist of things that I need to do. And I have an idea how I want the table to look like. And I mean, it will be very simplistic. Nothing to brag about. I am not putting a lot of hopes, into selling out or whatever. We will just make it do. This is the very first show that I'm going to. So most probably it will be just a tablecloth and some non-black color, some stands for the handle materials, to showcase how the handles would look like and from what you can choose. And I guess I will make them from plexiglass, to be transparent. And that's about it. I don't know. Do you have some recommendations? What should I put on the table?
Yeah, you definitely need a black tablecloth.
No, fuck it. It won't be black. But I looked at some shots from Zollingen.
From any knife show, yeah.
And
it's like 99% of black.
And they use a lot of orange, actually.
Okay.
I saw a lot of tables with orange tablecloths, and they are just trying to stand out, and they are taking the most generic color ever, which is not black, which is orange.
I didn't notice that, but that is the knife soling, and like that's their logo color. Maybe they did it because of that, sense. Or I don't know if Knife offers any kind of table decorations if you ask or something.
So I'm going with non-black, but still aligning with my branding, which will most probably be some shade of I won't tell it to you, so no people will copy it. None of your business what color. You will have to see it.
It's going to be the Lithuanian flag.
No, it's like it's disrespecting your flag. Putting it at a tablecloth. So no way. And also there are two bright colors. You still want to be like your knives to be the centerpieces. And I don't know. I'm not trying to overthink it, especially because we cannot have any backdrops as there is no space. Mm-hmm. So just I don't think pretty pictures or interesting tablecloths actually bring people to the table, but I think people standing by near the table are actually bringing in the people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you hired some people
to
stand around the table?
I will... booby traps, wires, traps, just traps. So people get stuck and don't go away so easily. Like some people do very small prices. So people, old guys try and look at it very intensely.
You have to stop, so put the glasses on and everything. I think you should get some
small inconvenience,
some 2-part epoxy and glue a couple of like €1 and €2 coins on the floor next to your table. So people everyone to come by and pick them up.
This is what Austrians like.
Yeah, give it a try.
This is actually a great idea.
No, I just thought of it when I was a kid. When I was a kid in the U.S., I had they sold them at like joke stores. You could buy like a quarter, 25-cent piece, and it had like a spike on the bottom, and you hammered it into like the asphalt or the driveway or something, and then watch people try and pick it up. So I just soldered a nail to the bottom of one and tried it. My mom tried to pick it up for a few minutes. It was funny.
I think just a sticker would work.
Yeah,
on the ground, just a sticker with the coin.
I ordered some new stickers. They're gonna be cool, but I don't want to tell anybody yet. I'm gonna show them for the first time at the knife show. It's gonna be great.
Are they knife material, AT, or
it has
work for it?
No knife material. It has a very small section that has my name on it, and the rest of it is from my skateboarding days. It was an advertisement for skaters back in the day, and I turned it into a knife making thing, which I think is pretty funny. Pretty cool.
Oh, I just remembered the thing. And I think in the last show or the show before, I asked how I should address the audience, and I came up with a thing, and you both will have to judge it. As like it doesn't sound well when you say workers, whatever. And Sid nailed it by saying it's the bank for it. So What if I call our listeners bankers?
That would be an insult.
Yeah.
So is it a yes or is it a no?
You can call them whatever you like. It's fine. If you like hate mail, they'll keep writing to you.
Yeah.
I got one. I got one already.
Yeah, and how did,
Also, I thought about how I can be more petty about it. Keith, can you send me the name of the person? I want to block him on Instagram.
yeah, it was anonymous.
Really.
But there's a podcast out there where the hosts call their listeners wankers, right?
Really?
Isn't Fire and Steel?
Yeah, they call them
Keith,
their listeners everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still going? Oh man, I thought the show stopped like a few years ago.
No, Keith was invited like last week or so, right?
Yeah, I was on that last week. Toby's
To that shit show?
Toby's been trying to get his ratings up, so he's trying to pull in people from other podcasts, and he's been begging me for a year to come on the show, and I finally went on, and he wasn't even there. He had to work late or something. So he's a wanker.
They did not change. So it's off the table. We cannot copy
No, we can't.
an inferior podcast.
But we could call them whiffies. If that is not
Queefies.
whiffies. That's not a word, is it?
Queefies.
Queefs is a word, yeah. Queef.
No,
Queefs.
whiff with W. Whiffies.
Quiffs. Quiffs.
Whiff. Oh, it is a word.
Work for it, so what?
Whiff. No,
And what
Minecraft
does-
something. Whiffies.
No.
Ice cream. shop.
Quiff.
Yeah.
Queefs.
Let's just call them. I found a picture. Let's just call them listeners. I'm gonna send you guys a picture.
Oh, no. Don't say it.
No, it's nice. It's a teddy bear.
Let me check it.
No, it's a dog, I think.
Oh, it's okay. Whiffies. Whiffies. Like, it doesn't. Keith,
I didn't
when
open
they
it. Is it
say
safe?
that something?
Is it? Of course, it's
yes.
safe.
Yeah, but when they in America,
Yeah.
when they say that take a whiff,
Yeah.
is it a good thing or a thing that smells
Well, it depends.
smells bad?
If you farted, then you're just fucking with the dude and you wanted to take a big whiff. No, it just means
So it can be
it
good.
could be good. Yeah, if you just bake some cookies, you'd be like, oh, take a whiff of that.
But if we call our audience whiffers, so they whiff, so they smell.
No, they're just smellers.
Smellers. Oh, the act. It's oh no. Oh no, it's like Albert is sharing more Wi-Fi stuff. It looks like one step from being a furry.
Yeah.
Furry toys. Yes. Oh no. Definitely not Wi-Fis. And not wankers.
So, Paulius, next to the link that he sends, do you have a little an AI symbol? What does that show up for you guys? Like everything that I do now has
No.
an AI symbol in the corner, and if you click on it, it opens like a help screen, like a chat bot,
No.
and you can ask them to explain it or whatever.
What browser
No.
are you using?
The same one you guys are, Google Chrome, right?
Chrome.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I don't have it. No.
Well, I don't have it too.
And AI is taking over everything.
It's old man's mode. Computer explain.
No, well, I do
Explain me
have
this
old
image.
man.
Yeah.
I do have old man mode on. I always have the screen at 120% so I can see it.
Accessibility
Yeah.
mode. Computer, what I am seeing, it's a picture of furries.
So I have something knife making related that happened.
Nice, let's hear
I
it.
just remembered.
I just-
I told you guys that but not the listeners. So we have all these carbide plates on our flat plates on the
Oh
backgrounds,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which costs like shitloads of money. So one of these carbide plates was, I think, 185 euros. I think even before taxes, right? So, but they're super awesome because they don't wear, right? So with normal steel and even with glass platens, they wear out right where you do most of your grinding sooner or later. Sooner or later, this also happens to glass. So back in the days, we were using like tempered glass because tempered glass holds up way longer than even hardened steel does at your back platen.
And they're cheap.
Obviously. They're cheap. Super easy to get. You can order them online. They cut them to the right size. You just glue them on with JB Weld or double-sided tape, heat-resistant double-sided tape, and it works. But you have to change them. Like if you do a lot of heavy grinding, you even have to change them. I think every other month or so because they wear. Even the glass wears. Yeah. So we ordered these carbide platens like for all our belt grinders. So it was lots of money back then. And I had one break on me last week for the first time. I didn't even know that this could happen when you do your grinding. Of course, when you drop a carbide drill bit or whatever, it might chip or break. But it was glued under, and it broke on the platen, so on the steel platen I glued it onto. So that was a disappointment or frustrating because it happened, I think, Saturday. Or at least I saw it Saturday, so maybe Sid broke it. Sid?
Definitely Sid.
Because steel.
Yeah, so he broke our carbide platen. No, but I don't know how many knives I made with these carbide platens, but it's definitely in the hundreds, right?
Yeah.
So, but now it broke, and we had a class that started on Monday, so I had to fix it. So I had to go to the shop Sunday, get luckily we had a replacement carbide platen because I ordered one more than we needed back then, and I glued the new one on. So I texted the guy who sent us the carbide platen, and we're getting a new one this week, hopefully for free. But I have to send, which is very nice. I mean that's good customer service because I asked him if he's ever heard that a carbide platen broke or one of his carbide platens, and he said it happened like 2 or 3 times within the last few years. So. And maybe these people really dropped them. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah.
But it really depends how you approach the guy. Did you say I'm Albert from the world famous Work For It podcast?
Maybe you've heard us.
No, I. No, that's not. That's not my style. I just texted him. I said I was super friendly because I honestly believe that we didn't make a mistake, right? Because. As I said, we ground like so many knives on this plant. I just texted him, "Hey man, did you ever have a carbide platen break on you? Mine broke yesterday." And then I said, "It's glued on with JB Weld." And then I just asked. I was curious, how can this happen, right? Can it be due to the heat? Because these carbide platens, they tend to get very warm when you're grinding, right? That's why you can also cool them from the back with a aluminum and water cooling system. And then I asked, can it be the glue? Can it be due to the heat? It was glued on perfectly because I've glued on so many glass platens before, so there has been no voids or anything, right? And he said that it's hard to tell why it broke, but glue usually is not the problem. Heat should also not be the problem. Maybe it was an impact that happened or an impurity from the manufacturing. So I'll send back the old platen because of course he asked me to. So I took it off the back platen, and I have to keep it, and then I'm just gonna send it back to him. Maybe he can figure out what happened there. But it's very nice customer service, to be honest, right? Because we need these carbide platens. Yeah. So I'm not willing to go back to glass or
you can't steel. After you've gone to carbide. That's crazy.
No, you can. Of course you can, but it sucks. Then you have to resurface your flat plate like every week if you do a lot of grinding. That's not worth it. And even glass also breaks.
And we will name him only if he sponsors us.
That's right.
It's a paid podcast now.
Yeah.
Yes. Albert, I actually wanted to ask me, as it was directly JB welded to the platen, right?
To the flat platen, yeah. To the steel.
Yeah, and so the JB weld layer is very thin.
Yeah.
Extremely thin. Mm-hmm. And mine is glued with the 3M
double-sided tape. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is way thicker.
Yeah.
And maybe it worked like insulating. I don't know. But I guess carbide and steel has different expansion rates. And just because the contact is so close, maybe the steel behind it was expanding more. But it would then happen only after long grinding sessions, right?
Yeah, and we've done grinding sessions that have been way longer than this one when it happened. So I mean, I don't know exactly when it happened, but I've been grinding 60 steak knives on this grinder in 2 or 3 goes. So this machine was running way longer before that ever happened. So.
Mm-hmm.
So it can't be due to different. I mean, of course, theoretically, I guess it could, but then it would have happened before.
Yeah.
That's my point. And I think that the glue might also compensate for somewhat for these different expansion rates, right? Don't you think?
Yeah, I don't think the glue would have been a problem, because if it got so hot, the glue would have failed before the platen one would have, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, the glue is rated up to, I think, 400 degrees Celsius. So that's very, very hot.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, 400 degrees, and our platen, I mean, it's never 400 degrees. That's for sure.
And you said, first of all, to the listener that sent me the feedback, look, I let them talk. I'm not interrupting them. But Albert, I wanted to, as you said, you used glass platens before,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I heard people say that they create static electricity.
Yeah, I don't know.
You did not notice
No,
that,
I did
right?
not notice anything like that. No, they might, of course, but yeah, I don't know.
Did you notice a difference in how much do you feel the belt seam compared to the steel platen, to the glass platen, and to the carbide platen?
Good question. I mean, I've never ground on steel, because as soon as I got my first grinder, I went for a glass platen.
You don't know?
No.
Because I used steel and ceramic glass and the carbide. And the carbide, and I don't know, maybe it's just because of the thickness of the M3 tape, but it feels very firm. It feels very it doesn't have give, but I feel the seam less.
Ah, interesting.
Way less on the carbide.
Yeah.
And way smoother grinding experience.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, I wouldn't go back to any other way than just with the carbide platen. And it's so sad that we cannot name the guy you can buy it from.
Not yet.
Just because he's not sponsoring us. But we would gladly.
But he also said, back to your point with the 3M tape, he also said or asked me if he should also already put on the 3M tape, because the 3M tape is better than JB Weld. That's what he said. So it's even better now if I get it with the...
Are you going to use the tape?
With the 3M tape. Yeah. I asked him, I mean, he asked me if he should put it under, and I said, yes, please. That'd be awesome. Yeah. Right? So I'm going to use the tape from now on.
That's what I use on mine too. By the way, you can get carbide plates at knifematerial.at.
Yeah, but not in 75. Not in 75 mil, because I asked you.
Yeah, not yet though, but I'm working on it for you.
Yeah.
This is not the guy that we are wanting to recommend.
Or is it?
No, it's not.
It's not, because you don't have any in 75 mil. So.
Yeah.
No, but these carbide platens, long story short, these carbide platens are amazing, especially if you do a lot of grinding. You don't want to go back, as Paulius said. So, and that's just, I mean, that's with every craft, right? Once you're used to like a professional tool, you don't want to go back to like steel or glass or whatever. So these hacks. So.
Speaking of hacks and platens and shit, I'm not going to name who it is, because I know he listens to this podcast, but I had somebody message me about the Apollo grinder, asking about the carbide platens for him, and he said, he's having a problem with his tracking, and his back plate is getting like all worn out and stuff, and sent me a picture to show me the belt like hanging off the side a little bit. And I look at the picture, and he's been using the Apollo for like a year, or maybe even longer. Not the Apollo, the Revolution grinder.
Revolution, yeah. Mm-hmm.
with no platen whatsoever. The Revolution grinder comes with a platen holder, so you can like quick change all the different platens. And he's been using the platen holder. So I'm looking at the picture and I can see like the little cutouts on the side where you can just slide the platen in and screw it down. He doesn't have anything on it.
What?
But how does he grind then?
Convex.
Yeah,
Obviously, yeah.
That's got to be tough to match up plunge lines and shit on that, especially after a year's use.
Yeah.
Imagine profiling.
Profiling a knife blank, everything's tough.
It's just like basic
Oh, wow.
mild steel.
Also, it's
I
mild
get
steel,
these
so
organic-
he did not use a slack belt then. So there was a plate, a platen behind the belt.
Yeah,
Keith.
yeah.
Or was it a slack belt? Okay. Poor guy.
Oh, man.
Did you send him a carbide platen then, or what happened?
No, he's out of the EU, so I don't ship to him. But
okay.
he's gonna take care of it.
I mean, a mild steel back platen is the worst for sure. That's
I mean,
don't do that.
I mean, you can, but you want to use something thick. This thing, the platen holder on the Revolution is like what, 3 millimeters, maybe 4 at tops.
But you have to even it out. Even if it is hard in it, you have to even it out so often.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
I'm like, I talk to some knife makers and I say, oh, you have to just buy it. Just buy the carbide platen, and they're like, no, it's so expensive. Yeah. I can do it, on my disc grinder. I can even out my platen. When you have the carbide platen, you just forget about it.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
You just don't worry. Unless it's your case, Albert, then you have to worry about it.
Yeah, but still, I would buy a new one, to be honest, right? I mean, we have two massive surface grinders, so nothing's easier for us than surface grind a steel plate. But even we wouldn't do that. We wouldn't. I mean, we would just buy a new carbide plate because it's so much more convenient. But because taking off the flat plate and surface grinding it, putting it back on, then you have to adjust the angles again. Everything has to be.
It's a waste of time.
At a certain 90-degree waste of time.
Yeah, total.
I mean, you spend. I mean, it's 185 euros for one of these platens, right? So if you have to surface grind your steel back platen, say like once a month, it takes you half an hour. And you have to do that every month, and the carbide platen lasts forever. So it's just a matter of mathematics, right? It's arithmetic. So you have the platen pays for itself like after three to 4 months, then, right? Or maybe 5 months. Eventually, yeah. If it doesn't break, and we've had ours for I think like 2 years or something. So, and now it broke, and now we're getting a new one. So, yeah.
And you don't have to worry about like not only do the work, but when you do like grinding and something doesn't line up and you think, oh, maybe the platen is not, maybe it's dished.
Yeah.
Maybe it isn't. I don't know. I have to check. I have to take off my belt, and then constant debugging and searching for problems. You just buy it and forget it.
Yeah. It's one variable you don't have to worry about anymore. That's right. Yeah, it's a good point.
The only thing you got to do is scrape off all the shit from the belt that gets gunked up on there, but that happens on all the platens.
Yeah.
And it's pretty easy. You just or just do some acetone or whatever. Because it's basically just glue from the seam.
Or run a belt inside out.
There you go. Fuck your belts up quick.
I don't recommend it.
No, me neither. I was just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that.
The one thing about the carbide platens that gets me is when I make my straightening hammers, after I like brace the carbide ball on, I use a Scotch-Brite belt to just like blend all that shit in together so it looks nicer. And the carbide platens have kind of a sharp edge on them. And when I run the belt over a little bit to try to get into the tight areas, and the carbide platen will cut up your Scotch-Brite belts if you push down on them too hard. So I've had a Scotch-Brite belt like break up. That's the only belt I've ever broken was a Scotch-Brite, actually.
Why don't you just round it?
Round the carbide, yeah. If I had some diamond tools, I would, yeah.
Like ceramic belts, do cut them? Have you tried it? I put a chamfer around mine.
With how many belts did you go through to get a chamfer on it?
One worn belt.
Come on.
Really? Like it's 120 grit that was beaten to death. It's so easy. Like you can grind carbide.
Yeah, I think
Dude, I have
got
like
the
shitloads of carbide end mills. I can grind
You
those.
got the fake carbide platen.
I'm going back to chill Paulius.
Perfect. I liked him better anyway.
Oh man.
So Albert said he had nothing to talk about. We're an hour and 15 minutes in. Not so bad, huh?
Yeah, I say that every week,
I
and
know.
then something comes up or pops into my head.
And Paulius starts talking.
The same with the guests.
Yeah.
I don't. No more. The show. Don't mute yourself. Oh, bastard. It's a provocation. I know.
It is. Now you have to talk, Paulus. He did that on purpose.
No, nobody wants to hear my lighter flicking all the time.
I get jealous about the smoking.
Then you have to start again.
But I only like the idea of smoking, not the smoking itself.
Okay.
You know.
Well, what do you guys think? Is it good for tonight?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, if you can send that link, or try to put the link on from Kamon's knife for everybody to see.
Yeah, do that.
The Alibaba knife. That's funny as hell.
You mean the link from the what's it called? Wrought iron thing.
Yeah, I'm sure that
test.
listeners will find that interesting. That's cool.
Here it comes.
That's what she said.
Finally.
Got one in.
Ah, shit. Lost it. It's so hard to...
There's a picture where you can see how it's supposed to look when you break it.
But if you try to do let's say a sanmai with wrought iron, and a fillet knife, would the cladding break first?
When you bend it, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's forge welded to the core. Why would it?
I don't know. I thought that.
And it's so thin. Yeah. No. But it rusts like crazy. So I mean, wrought iron is not a very easy material to have in your kitchen. I think it looks nice when it's new, but it rusts like super fast. So
exactly, one of my conspiracy theories was about carbon steel and big steel companies. Big steel, like big pharma.
Shoot, what's your conspiracy theory?
No,
I
will have to keep it till the next episode. This episode is dedicated to my singular hater.
I want to know. Okay, tell me in the post show then, or in the after show.
You will edit it in.
No, I won't. I promise. Because I also have one.
You have also a conspiracy theory.
Not a conspiracy theory, but a very strong opinion on carbon steels. We were talking to Sid about this. So.
Oh, then you got it. Let's hear it. Because next week we have a guest that won't fit in very good with that.
No. I'm not going to say this on this show because then there's a massive shitstorm coming our way. Trust me.
It couldn't be worse than what I am experiencing right now.
Yeah, let's hear it. Dear listeners, you have to tune in again when we talk about our conspiracy theories.
I will keep it till the next episode. Good, I think. I cannot spill it. But maybe if I cannot call them wankers now. The dear listeners, except that one, send in your conspiracy theories or very strong opinions.
Yeah, that's good.
And disclaimer, these are not hot takes. Not hot takes. These are cool takes. Cool takes that might be insane, but send them in.
So now you got a week to think about a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
I was machining handles for a week. I had plenty of time of thinking about how to combine it with No, I cannot say child sacrifice. No, whatever.
All right, let's call it a show. I want to hear Paul's conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Yeah, let me stop the recording real quick so he can tell us. All right. Thanks to sponsor Mini Hell and all the patrons who help support us each week, each month, each year. You can find us on WFI Europe podcast on Patreon. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.